Hi, this is Bear, and today I'm going to be doing a video on primarily how to get more Thieves Tools. There's going to be a little bit of extra details about trapping and how it works in general in DDO, but primarily this is just going to be a quick video showing you how to get the best Thieves Tools in the game, as many of them as you want for free. There is like a price, but it's something that's going to be very, very easy to acquire and get more of constantly. Some of you have already noticed, especially those of you who are struggling for Thieves Tools. I have a stack of 722 just sitting in my inventory, and these are the maximum Thieves Tools in the game. These are +5 Thieves Tools. So a lot of newer players and even some more experienced players don't know about this, so they're often really struggling for Thieves Tools when they play their trapping classes. The classes that can trap, as default, Rogue and Artificer can disable traps. However, additionally, there is also the Dark Hunter archetype for Ranger. However, for newer players, it tends to be a little harder for that class to get a trapping skill high enough to be effective, as they don't really use intelligence for anything else, and the trapping skills are intelligence based. Um, Quickly, we'll also go over the mechanics of Thieves Tools. So there are 7 tiers of Thieves Tools, each one better than the previous one. You must have Thieves Tools in order to try to disable a trap. If you are not carrying any, it will not do anything. Having any tools at all, technically there's actually an 8th tier. It's like Rusty or something like that, but they're incredibly rare. You'll never find them. There's one vendor in the game that sells them, and they're the worst thing in the game. You should never be using them. Um, but so we're going to start with the first real one, which is just Thieves Tools. It gives you a +1 to open, lock, and disable. Then there's Masterwork, +2. And then you have +1, which gives you a +3. Now that's confusing, but it's because it's a +1 on top of the one for having tools, and a +1 on top of the +1 for them being Masterwork. So that's then the 2 for good tools plus up to 5 for magic. Um, At this point, I'm now going to show you where to get these from. You can get them in chests. That's where most people realize that they can get them. You can get up to +4 from the free agent's favor vendor, +2 with the first level, +4 with the second level of favor with them. However, to get these +5s, a lot of people think you need to get them from chests. You just don't. So I'm going to show you today. I'm going to run down to the first location. There's something called a device workshop. The easiest one to get to is in House Caneth. So if you see here, I'm over by the catacombs in the marketplace. I'll show you on the map really quickly. Center of the market's over here, so I'm just off to the East House Caneth Enclave. I'm going to come through here. This would be a very unfortunate time for a bad loading screen. And then I'm going to come over towards the tavern, and I'm just going to jump down here. You can see there's also a staircase if you prefer not to do the jump. And right here, this guy here hidden in the corner, there used to be an easier one to find, but they moved it when they rebuilt the harbor. You're going to click on this guy, and this has a bunch of recipes. Those of you who don't know, you can always click on this X here and show you all the recipes. Now, it immediately starts out with these grenades. I've not seen anyone try to use these in a long time. They're not really any good. Same thing with the traps. They're not really viable in like mechanically optimized play at all, but some people really like playing with them, and I don't blame them. There's like a the same kind of appeal that playing a no-kill run of Fallout New Vegas might have to playing like this. However, if you go all the way to the end, you can also use, or sorry, not all the way to the end because that's the rune arms. Near the end, page 7, you can also just go in here and type Thieves, and then you'll get them, just these. You can make magic Thieves Tools. You can't make the regular ones, but you can make the magic ones, which are strictly better. They have no requirements. Now, you're going to see here they do require mechanical trap parts, and they require more and more mechanical trap parts for like the quality. However, as you play the game, if you are playing at least 4 levels for the trap finding feat, which I believe a trap making feat for Rogue and Artificer, you will start getting these, and you'll have more of them than you know what to do with, because realistically speaking, this is the only important thing they're used for unless you are playing that trap making style, which again, very few people do. I just bring it up because I know some people love it. So if I click on this one here, you're going to notice it's got this big question mark. That means it's got an item that needs to be filled. Sometimes it means you don't have the item. Sometimes it means it wants you to pick which item. In this case, what it's looking for, it says a +5 weapon. Well, if I go through my backpack, currently this character is level 12. They don't actually have a +5 randomly generated item on them. So I'm instead going to go down and I'm going to go to the +3 because I do have that on me. And I've got right here, I've got this +3 biting 3 bastard sword of insight 40. And I'm going to take it, I'm going to drop it in here. I'm going to click this button and somewhere in my inventory, somewhere in my, oh, is this, no, that's +4. Where did they go? Where did they go? Where, they ran away from me. Oh, they're over here. Apparently I already had some in my inventory, probably from when I was testing this. So you can see I have created, this says 100, it makes 50 per. I just had some in there already, +3 Thieves Tools. Now, what does it mean by a +3 item? Many of you will already know this, but if we come over right here, you can see this weapon is a +3. That's the one we care about. Anarchic Repeating Light Crossbow of Diversion 6. Now, if you're coming over to that +3 in the top right-hand corner of the box that this thing pulled up, do not look at that. Usually that's going to be the same as the plus on the weapon. Not always. Fairly rarely. I don't believe I have any on me right now that are... Oh, no, I've got this one right here. So +2 with a +4 on the right. They don't match up, but if I drag... I can't use this one because it's a throwing axe, so it's not actually a real weapon. But I can't drag that over and get a +4. I would get a +2 instead. I believe it used to work the opposite way around. It does not anymore. I just tested it earlier today. So every time you drag it over, you're going to use another 50 of these, and it'll make another 50 of these. Once you're using the... Oh, whoops, I did it backwards. Once you are using these higher level ones, it's going to be 100 trap parts per 50 Thieves Tools. Don't worry about it. Once you get to this point that you're making these, you're not going to be running out of mechanical trap parts. I don't play trappers that often, and I have 5,000 on me. With that being said, that's the end of the meaningful discussion for this video. The only thing that I'm going to show is the locations of the other device workstations, or workshops, sorry. The first one I'm going to show you is the one in Sharn. For Sharn, I am going to use the airship. This is a not super recent anymore, which makes me feel old, but a more recent than the other option expansion. So I believe everyone can get there, but not everyone can do the content there. I'm going to go to my airship. This is not the only way to do it. You can also get to it through the harbor. And let's grab buffs out of habit. I'm going to run over here. And I'm going to go to the Clifftop Tower District in Sharn. And all of this is a higher heroic and mid-end game epic zone, legendary technically. But I'm going to come right here to the Cliffside Docks District. I'm going to click on that. And then in Sharn, we're going to look around a little bit, and I see a familiar looking guy right here. This is the device workstation for Sharn. You're going to see if I click here, it's going to have the same recipes. You see the same 9 pages, and when I come down to page 7, it's going to have the same guys here. Because it is, functionally speaking, the exact same thing. There's one more. It's an Evening Star. I'm going to use my key to the city because this character doesn't have the normal methods of reaching Evening Star. There's other ways to get there now. You can go through the Gatekeeper's Grove and things like that, but this is faster. So those of you familiar with Evening Star, I'm in the center by the well, and I'm going to come over here by the trainers. Now you can already see on the map this little purple guy here. That purple guy is what we're going towards. But you can see Rogue Trainer leaning up against the pole under the kind of, I guess we'd maybe call this an awning, a thatched awning, with poles going straight through it, not really attached to anything. I never really noticed how janky this looks until now. Anyway, under it is the device workstation. And again, all the exact same recipes are here. So with that said, these are the locations that everyone can access. There's one final location that is accessible to some players, but not others. And that one is on your guild's airship. Now, my guild, I don't even know if it has it or not, because for me, I'd just go to one of these. I haven't bothered to ask, but if for some reason you don't want to go to these, you think they're out of the way, your guild may have it on their airship as well. However, the guild would set the location of their device workstation per guild, so I can't tell you where on the ship it would show up. because I can't even tell you what kind of ship you have, if any. That is the end of the information for the video. Thank you very much. Have a good day.